Hi guys, Chris again, and today we're doing a really beautiful little sketchpad video. I really hope you love it. It's all about dealing with more shit in life. One thing I said when I did my MBA was it was a total waste of time, and I was wrong, because I was approaching the outcome of the MBA from a point of view of how did it affect my vision or my sense of growth or my ability to sell things or my ability to deliver things or whatever. But I was looking at it from a very jaundiced pair of eyes. What my MBA did was gave me the ability to handle more shit. Now that wasn't just business shit, it was life shit, it was stress, it was all sorts of things. And it gave me the ability to see clearly how to handle more, I guess, of the challenges or the unpredictability or the uncertainty of running a business. And this MBA was just the starting point, because it only gave me a couple of years grace before I really needed to upgrade my skills, because my business grew really quick, the consulting firm I had. And in the end, I became the limiting factor, because the amount of shit that I could handle, stress and uncertainty and confusion and problems, became limited. And then I grew, and then I started growing in the way that you all know now, which is in the way of using nature's universal laws to apply them to a business to keep order in the chaos. So I hope you enjoy this short video, and give me your feedback. Make sure you like it if you do, and share it around. Bye for now. Well, g'day folks. We're talking about what you've seen before in the Sketchpad conversations. We're talking about strategy, structure, and culture. Strategy, structure, and culture. Strategy, structure, and culture. We're talking about the interaction between the three of them, or as it is in the physical world, body, mind, and spirit. Same three. So I won't go over things that we've talked about before, but just to be clear, inspiration, which is at the top, which is what we call strategy, or spirit, comes under many names. And if you look in all the books, you'll see it called creativity, love, genius, inspiration, joy, craziness, enlightenment, God, grace. So there are many names for this zone at the top of the pyramid. We fall from grace, we fall through the feminine, sorry ladies, the feminine, which is the water, and we fall from grace because we take thought and give birth to things. It's from thought to matter. And a lot of us are infatuated with the feminine, which is creating things, birthing things, building things, doing things. Motivation is sticking with it, but then the masculine principle, sorry guys, is destructive. And destruction takes matter back to spirit. So whether we're talking strategy, structure, culture, or spirit, mind, body, it doesn't matter. We're always talking about a rotation, a movement through a triangle, through a prism. And this movement is really important to understand. You understand from the work we've done before that all shapes in the universe will be hierarchical. So this shape that we've got here at the tree, which every tree has, or the body has, or an organization has, or a nation has, or a tribe of monkeys has, whatever it is, will always gravitate to a pyramid shape. And this reflects, rather than represents, it reflects the constant in the universe, that all things in the universe are hierarchical. It's the fifth law of nature, and it's a really important law to understand, that we're always subordinate to something. And in our mind, what we do is we're able to see that in your own mind, you are a universe. You have the grass or the earth, and then you have different levels of thought, all the way up to love to, which is the equivalent to the top of the tree. The highest leaf on the tree is the most evolved. The highest thought you have in your mind, which is the love to, is the most evolved. And we've talked about that on previous Sketchpad videos, so we don't want to go over that all again. I recommend you go and have a look if you can't remember it. We know that there's 7 areas of life, and each of them has a thought process or a mindset attached to it. And when we are thinking about relationship, if we end up in a got-to space, you can see this little pyramid here, if we end up in a got-to space, this impacts quite severely all the other areas of life. And although we may say I'm in a love-to space in my mind, or spiritually I'm really enlightened, if we're in a got-to place in relationship, this affects the average area in here, which we call the VIP area, our scores. And the total of those scores, this volume inside this area here, we call our gratitude. So when we're talking about personal growth, if this volume in here, if we start fixing up our career and move our career up to a higher place, and we do it because we focus on career and say, to hell with spiritual, I'll leave that alone. All we do is change the shape of this area in the middle here. We just move it out higher up there, and we may steal some space from over here. So all we're doing for most people in personal development is changing the shape of their gratitude, but the total of it, the gratitude score, or what I call your VIP score, stays the same. It might be 80 out of 100, or it might be 60 out of 100, depending how thankful you are in life. And our mission is always to try and grow your gratitude, so it becomes from 60 to 61 as a constant, 62, all the way up to 100, and you become very thankful. But what a lot of people don't understand with this is that as we grow, each time we grow back to spirit. So as I've said, we fall from grace, that's the waters. We maintain, that's everyday life. And then we destroy, which means we maybe get divorced, or we have to reinvent ourselves, or we reinvent the business, or we re-strategize what we do. We have to take what we've built, put some sort of a holding pattern on it, but destroy the confidence or the stability of it and return to spirit. What most people don't understand is this. Here's the way it can look the first time round. If we become more strategic, more inspired, or more in grace, or more happy, or more loving, or more confident, what we will eventually do is build a bigger triangle, because this triangle here grows proportionately in each direction. And so if we call this stuff at the bottom the shit we deal with in life, and this is the grace or love or inspiration or success or dollars or whatever you want to call it, leadership or turnover, whatever you describe this pinnacle point in, whether it's relationship or business or spiritual or whatever you want to do, the higher you go in grace and spirit, the lower you go and the more shit you have to deal with. Now, this is really important because a lot of people have the idea that they can take their base pyramid, grow it up to here, become more inspired, in other words, but keep the base amount of shit the same, or they even think that they can grow and have less shit to deal with. But that's not how it works. And there's a quote that goes in all teachings, and it says, as above, so below. So when you're talking about growing your life or growing your business or growing your career, you also have to develop the skills to deal with more shit. And then you grow it again, you have to develop the skills to grow with more shit. So it's really important to realize here that this baseline, the amount of shit you can handle, is one of the most important questions. So when you say, I want to achieve something, the question is, what will you pay for it? What will be the cost you'll pay? How much shit can you handle? If a good example of this, if you want to love somebody more, it's going to hurt more. If you break up, it's going to take more sacrifice to love more. If you want to build your business more, how much stress can you handle? So it's really important, guys, to realize that when you grow in a pyramid, you grow equally in all dimensions, both in the handling of the shit, and if you grow it even more shit. And what we try to do, and you've seen me talk about this quite a lot in the past, what we try to do is we grow, but we don't plummet all the way down to ground zero in order to rise up. We grow in smaller and smaller increments. So rather than grow all the way down here, we go, okay, I'm going to stay in the higher mind, and when I grow, I'll grow from the higher mind. It still doesn't negate the fact we're going to deal with shit, but it's not as much as if we were dealing in the lower mind. So this is what we operate on is the higher mind, and we have skills to help us deal with the shit that comes with the growth we get from being more inspired, more successful, and closer to our dreams. This is Chris. It's a bit of a mess. I hope it's been fun for you. Bye.